Hello everyone, we are here with the Director of Global Relations for World of Warships, and we are here to talk about the newly launched Warship battle game, and which I actually playing, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. So I'm actually quite eager to hear a little bit more about it, straight from the Lion Mount. So first of all, what was the reception from the closed beta and the open beta?
So, thank you. In fact, the reception was quite good. I can say it's better than our expectations. We are very happy about Asian market and NA market, because basically when we started the project, we was targeting to these markets, and now we can see quite good numbers from them. This means both like retention, CCU, and like money. So we are really happy with how we started and what kind of feedback we have.
So now that the game has been launched, can we expect the balancing of the ships to become a little bit more stable, like a little less swings, like the latest Japanese carrier balancing that was a little harsh, let's say?
Sure, that's one of reasons such a big changes it was, that we was trying to make everything before the actual release to avoid big changes after that. Of course, some changes will appear, especially in far future when we will implement, for example, new classes. We will need to make some additional balancing, but currently we're expecting that we will not make big changes with the current classes as for now.
So one thing I'm curious, it seems to me that cruiser may be the most popular class for the moment, but I may be wrong, because that's something I just see from the inside from playing the game. Do you have any statistics on what the most popular and the least popular classes between players are?
Generally, you are correct. The most popular class it's the cruisers, and the fact that we think it's okay. First of all, the cruisers, it's the only class who available from tier 1 to tier 10, because you start playing cruisers on tier 1. Generally, the situation is similar to how is branched built. So the most popular is cruisers. On the second place, it's destroyers. On the third place, it's battleships, and the last one, it's carriers. And it's exactly what we was targeted to. According to game balance, I think it's provide the best balance during the battle. So smaller amount of carriers, a little bit more of battleships, and the rest it's cruisers and destroyers. And cruisers, it's most comfortable ships for newbies. So that's also one of reasons why there is a biggest part of them.
Lately there has been a change to the matchmaking for carriers that equalized it between teams. It was very welcome for me as a battleship driver, but actually I wanted to hear from you what kind of effects it had internally. From what are you seeing? Like, is the matchmaking managing to cope with having to equalize the carriers? Are carriers drivers having like longer waiting time or not? So what's the idea internally? What's the impression?
Idea is that we're trying to seek for the perfect balance all the time, and it's not only a matter of balance. It's also, balance from side of developers. It's also a matter of gaming tactics. So the more players are playing, the more tactics are transforming, and this also affects the how we should tune the balancer. What to say? That's the main idea, and according to our statistics, according to players' feedback, we come to the current solution. I can say that there is no big difference in time of balancing. From time to time we can see issues, for example, let's say when we start to sell Tirpitz on Europe, it was like more than a popular there, and there was some issues with like 6 Tirpitzes versus 6 Tirpitzes, and during one day there was like waiting time. If you are playing Tirpitz, was a little bit longer than normal because like too many Tirpitzes in the queue. Yeah, but in general, I can say that now most of ships will be balanced and battle quite fast, except maybe last tiers, tier 9 or tier 10, just because it takes time, yeah, to come to these tiers, and you may see some not full battles, like maybe 7 versus 7. But anyway, there is a limit. You will not wait more than a few minutes. After that, you will balance and battle anyway to avoid like a lot of concerns here.
Actually, talking about the Tirpitz, I was surprised. It's a pretty costly ship, so I was surprised that it was that popular. Were you guys surprised that that many Tirpitz sold, or it was pretty much in your expectations?
To say true, it was higher than our expectations. So yes, we know it's very well-known ship. It's like desired ship, especially for Europe. But like our results is bigger than our expectation. Of course, it's good. Europe is a country where the Tirpitz has the maximum sales, but on other territories we also have quite good results. I believe NA on a second place, like in our ranking. But in general, it's a good results, and according to these results, we will try to deliver next German branches. I think like faster, because it's popular not only in Europe, but popular all over the world.
So talking about German ships, do you have any idea on when we can expect the German 3 to be released?
We're going to release the first German branch in October. So we will show it on Russian show Igromir, which will take place in Moscow in first week of October. And then they will be available for public in the middle of October. About next steps, it will be the German battleships. Of course, Bismarck will be there. And it will be the beginning of next year, I believe.
Actually, I'm curious. Since Bismarck and Tirpitz are sister ships, will Bismarck have torpedoes?
Good question. We will see. We will see the results of Tirpitz. There is, how to say, there is a maybe not a problem, but possible concern that we're trying to be close to history in terms of ships configuration. And as you know, Bismarck are more known, but his life was shorter than Tirpitz, and some modifications which was done for Tirpitz are not available for Bismarck. And it's also a question of perception from our community. If community are ready to see like some like fantasy, I mean not elves and dwarves, but some fantasy on the possible configuration of ships, it's like one situation. If we see that our community is seeking like quite historically accurate things, it's a different situation. It's also how we make our decisions. So we will see. Also during the, I believe, like super tests and negotiations with our community, discussions, I think we'll make this decision.
What classes will the initial launch of the German 3 have? Like, will it have like cruisers, destroyers, battleships? I don't think carriers. What will it have?
Surely cruisers. They will come quite soon. Absolutely sure for battleships. Of course, Germans want to have the submarines. But we have no plans for submarines yet for the game. We still have a lot of like discussions about carriers, because yes, in fact, it was just like how many, 2, 3 carriers and like we're still thinking how we should develop. Maybe it will be different branches of cruisers, for example. Maybe it will be different branches of destroyers, and carriers will be just premiums. But anyway, even if ships are not built in the metal, there was a lot of plans, a lot of like blueprints to build some ships. I think it's just a matter of balance between real ships and paper ships. So
we already have some paper ships, so
yeah, sure. We can't avoid that. I mean, if we will have, let's say, full branch of paper ships, if it will be fine or not fine, I think sooner or later we will come to the situation where we need to include more and more paper ships. And to say true, some of them are quite interesting. So we have some freedom here. So, but anyway, we will start with the real ships like cruisers and battleships, and then we will see the next steps. Same for Soviets. They have nice destroyers, nice cruisers. Much harder situation with the battleships, yeah, and absolutely
no carriers at all.
No real carriers, yeah, central.
Water Tanks just launched, was just announced on PS4, and it's been quite successful on Xbox consoles, from what I hear. Is there any consideration or plan to develop warships for consoles?
I can't open any real plans yet, because currently we are targeted to make our PC version as successful as possible. But as far as we can see, the way, like it's obvious way to expand the game is to move to other platforms, and I think that our steps, which was just announced, it's PlayStation version for tanks. It's a very good step, especially for Asia. So, like, I think it's like kind of imminent future for every successful title.
One thing I'm quite curious, I was on the train this morning and I saw a commercial of World of Warships. It was a really nice anime commercial. So can you tell me a little bit about that commercial? Because that's something Western players don't get to see. So that's interesting.
You know, it's not only commercial. We making the special modification for Asian market. Maybe you know the modification for tanks, which is called Girls and Panzers. This collaboration was quite positive for us, for Asian market. Now we're trying to continue and expand it for World of Warships. As for tanks, it was like additional mode. For World of Warships, it will be in-game mode. There is an anime series Arpeggio of Blue Steel, like in Japan and in Asia. It's quite popular, and we have a collaboration with them. We're making the special skins for the ships, some special balancing. We making another commanders for the ships, because if you maybe seen this anime, there is like girls who commanding the ships. And firstly, we will release this modification for Asian market. We will see the feedback. So anyway, there is an option to switch off this thing. So if you don't like such kind of stuff, yeah, you can just switch it off, and you will see the regular ships instead of it. But if you like it, you will see the special dock, you will see the special camos, you will see the special commanders, and you will see some like other additional features. We will see if this collaboration will have a good results. We will continue to expand this like part with part of the game. So we're trying to customize our game for market to achieve like the best results and the best feedbacks.
Of course, this is never going to come to the West like in tanks, because there are a lot of anime fans in the West. So have you ever thought about maybe making it optional for the West as well?
It depends on regions. So technically it's very easy just to transfer it to other markets. And as far as we will have an option to switch it off, why not? Here our original officers have a freedom. If they will see the demand from players, they can use this modification for their markets as well. So why not?
I don't know if you notice in the forums, like there is a ton of people with signatures with a Kantai collection, so there is probably quite a bit of demand for it. Anyway, talking about skins, is there any plan to expand the skins for the ship, like having different colors for the same effect? For instance, like Japanese ships, all they have like this green camo. And maybe if someone wanted like a more of a blue camo or something like that, is there any plan to change, to expand that?
Yes. In general, for the World of Warships, we're trying to go deeper in customization of each ship. So not clone a lot of like same tier and same class ships, but we will try to go deeper in customization. It's like visual customization, like more camos included, permanent camos, like flags, models. In future, I hope we will have some decals. I mean, some special signs which you can put on the ship. So yes, because from gameplay side, we're going to provide the possibility to like choose a specialization. For example, you can build anti-aircraft ship, or like more torpedo ship, or more artillery ship. Of course, it depends on the class. Currently, the most like customizable class it's cruisers. They can be like for different purposes. But in future, we will try to make this deeper for all classes of the ships. So, and of course, including like special and additional camos. But anyway, what we're trying to achieve that even visual changes should affect the gameplay somehow. So if you remember, currently we have two camos. One of them decreasing the visibility. Second is decreasing accuracy for your enemies. Yeah, we will continue this. So each customization, yeah, will somehow affect the performance of your ship in the battle.
Okay, actually there is a ship I'm quite curious about because I never got to see it because I joined later. There was this Japanese cruiser. Exactly, that had 20 torpedoes. 40, yeah, sorry, 40 torpedoes. Yeah, that's true. And it has been removed. There is this idea that was removed because it was kind of a one-trick pony. But I actually wanted to hear from you, why is it being removed and will it ever come back?
Yeah, it was a quite interesting ship because long ago he was like tier 10 Japanese destroyer. When we've seen that it's like not his place, he was removed into premiums. And then he was really removed from the tree and the premiums at all. So, in fact, main reason, and then historically, this ship should have torpedo with a very long range. But in fact, when this ship has torpedo with a long range, his average amount of frags was below 0. So more team kills comparing to enemies. Yeah, when we reduced the range of his torpedoes, and it's became very complicated ship to play. Still a big chance to hit the friendlies, and like there is not very good armor, but you have like a lot of torpedoes. It's not very maneuvering, but like so. We think that sooner or later we will take this ship back into the game, but more likely like a kind of reward for skilled players. We don't know how yet, but we absolutely sure that this will not be a standard premium, because if just newcomer will purchase these ships, but and the chance is quite high because like 40 torpedoes, it sounds great. Yeah, but it's like
it's difficult to play.
Yeah, it's difficult to play. It's high tier. It's a very specific ship. That's why, okay, sure, we sure that we will have the great sales, but we will have a lot of concerns from the players. So this ship should be used for purposes like rewarding of experienced players, maybe for some clan wars, maybe so something like that. So, but we will, you will see the ship in the game anyway.
That's great. What kind of recently you added trees to the island? It actually changed the visuals of the game quite nicely. I really like how it looks now. Is the graphical aspect of the game gonna continue to evolve, or you're pretty much satisfied about what you have now?
You know, usually we can be satisfied not more than 1 or 2 months, and then we go further. It's not only we; it's like interesting games are moving forward, and of course we will need to like continue development of engine. Like and graphical engine as well. In nearest plans, we're going to work closer with the weather conditions, weather effects, to make them affecting the gameplay, not only visuals. It's like, in general, I can say that during like alpha, closed beta, and open beta, our graphics was changed, I believe, 3 times. I mean, increased steps. Yeah. So I think we will see something similar. Like in general, we're going to have 1 big patch every year. I mean, really big. And of course, it will have some graphical improvements as well. So this process will never stop.
Are we going to see night battles ever?
You know, quite popular question last time. Technically, it's very easy to make the night battle, but it's a question of balance. First of all, in fact, we should switch off carriers for night battles, yeah, because planes World War II planes are not flying at night. Then, like, technically, we should make the detection radius quite small in the night. Historically, there was no lights on the ships, so it will be quite interesting. You know, it's a joke when the picture was a calm water, and it's a dramatic battle of submarines. Something like that. So, like, dark, and something appears. So, we don't know yet. Maybe we should step away from historically, make lights, make traces, something like that. Maybe we just use the evenings. So, like, it's mostly it's a matter of balance, not a technical side. But as far as this question became more and more popular, looks like sooner or later we should have the night battles.
Talking about weather, what kind of weathers are you guys planning? Like storms, rain, cloudy, things like that?
Those things which is common to the mind, it's like different size of waves, which will affect some characteristics during the battle. Clouds, of course, yeah, we already have smokes in the game. It's like controllable clouds, who's stopping us from having uncontrollable clouds. Maybe winds, so a lot of. I think we will start with some clouds, and then we will move further.
Okay, one last question. There is many players are complaining a little bit about how strongly the random number generator affects the game. Like if I aim at the ship, there will be a very wide range, at least from what I can observe and from what I read in the forums, between success of my hit, even if I hit, success, or just a bounce. Are you guys planning to mitigate the random number generator, or you think it's okay like it is?
I can't say that we're going to mitigate the random. Absolutely true. Yes, we will work with a balance in general. For example, yes, the possibility to miss with one shot is higher, but comparing to, for example, to tanks, you have not one barrel. You have like, I don't know, 6, 9, like 20. So and overall chances are bigger. Another thing that if in tanks you're calculating money after each shot, for ships it's a different situation. You are not calculating shells, so it's a kind of overall balance here, and we will see the overall results. Now it seems that we are fine with overall amount of shots, overall accuracy, etc. Yeah, we have some questions to some classes, but we're trying to fix them. But in general, looks like we have a balance. It's like making shots more accurate. Again, it's technically not a big deal. It's an easy, but let's say if we'll make cruisers more accurate, destroyers will not be able to survive at all. If we'll make battleships more accurate, cruisers will not survive at all. So we need to make all classes playable. So we should, and this is our goal, that on each tier, each class should be playable. So, for example, in tanks, you just have no light tanks on tier 10. So, while we have all destroyers, cruisers, battleships, carriers, and as you know, you have a good chances even playing destroyer on tier 10. And we think it's quite important because our classes have very different kind of gameplay, not only heavy or light, torpedoes, guns, planes, etc. So that's why I think maybe we should leave the chance to miss for the gun, but keep the overall balance for everybody.
Thank you very much for your time, and I can't wait to see how the game progresses.
Thank you very much for coming, and thank you for nice questions.